Welcome back to the Sovereign Career Hub. I'm Carolyn Shepherd, and I'm really glad you're here. Let me start with a moment you'll recognise. You ask Copilot to do something, it gives you back an answer, and it's fine. Not wrong exactly, but not quite what you wanted either, and you can't put your finger on why. So you try again. You reword it, and 20 minutes later, you've spent longer going back and forth with the AI than the job would have taken you on your own. If that's ever been you, stay with me because today is about fixing it, and you won't have to become a prompt expert to do so. If this is your first time here, of course, very much hello and welcome, and it's worth 10 minutes to go back and watch the episode before this one because it's the foundation for everything. Green is the work you delegate, amber is the work you and AI do together, and red is the work that's really you, the human work, the stuff you want to protect. And I left you with a task to write down everything you do in a typical week and mark your green zone work, the jobs you'd love to hand over to AI. If you did that, keep the list handy because today is where it starts to pay off. Everything here on the Hub is free, so if you've missed an episode, please subscribe. You can catch up anytime over on Substack. So here is where we're going today. You have your list and you have marked the green jobs, the ones you would love to hand over. Now we take one of them and look at it properly. Because a job is almost never just one thing. Think of your monthly report. It feels like a single task at first, but pull it apart and it's 10 or 11 small steps. Gathering the numbers, cleaning them up, checking against last month, dropping it all into the template, those are the repeatable steps, and they're exactly the kind of work an agent is built to take off your hands. I've written today's example up in full too. There is a companion article on the Hub. I really encourage you to read that because it breaks this exact workflow down and helps you decide what is genuinely green in your world. Well worth a read before or after this, whenever suits you. And I could not have a better person to show you how. Valerie Merrill has built her career right where the Microsoft tools we all use meet the real people who have to use them. She is going to take that green zone work and show you on screen, step by step, how to hand it to Microsoft's ready-made agents, in particular, today, Prompt Coach.
Thank you. Welcome. Thanks very much, Carolyn. Okay, I'm going to share my screen. So if you haven't got this screen, you can go to the taskbar where you've got a search option. And as I've done now, and when you type in Copilot, it brings you up the app so that you can open it. You can also pin it to the taskbar as I have, or you can pin it to start. So that's the first thing we needed to show you today. This is how to get at the 365 Copilot app. And when you come in, you're going to be looking at a screen like this. Now, this is the old design. And I remember when we were talking the other day, you may see a button now which says New Design, which is the current one that both Carolyn and I have. And you can see it's different because it's got this work IQ, which just means our data. Okay, so in that left-hand pane, we have a new chat, and you'll see we've got agents. And when I click on to agents, I'm in an agent store. I've got my agents. These are ones that I've used, and there's my prompt coach. Now, when I click on prompt coach, it's going to open up straight away. I'm just going to go back to agents for a second. So if you had got it in the list underneath and you click on to, for example here, plan my day, it's going to say add. Okay, so I've already added mine. So I'm just going to my list of agents, my pre-built agents. So I've opened up my prompt coach. So the prompt coach, and I'm going to show you some prompts here, it's all about helping you generate better prompts. So it's a bit like your, as it says, a coach for prompting. So with good prompting, gold content, then you know that you're going to get a good outcome of your prompt. So I'm going to my prompt coach. When I click on my prompt coach, it is what it says on the tin. It allows you, it helps you as a little assistant to work with helping you to generate a prompt or analyze a prompt or evaluate your prompt. So it also says, fix my prompt. I've got something here and it's not working. So how does it work? Well, when I click into my prompt coach, I'm actually going to give it some information which I had already available on the clipboard. Okay, so a prompt coach is what it says on the tin. It allows us to generate prompts, if you like, to help us, because it is a coach. It can analyze your prompt and provide feedback in order to improve your prompts. It helps you evaluate if your prompt is compliant. It fixes a prompt that isn't working, and even it helps you here, how do I write a good prompt? So I want to give a prompt coach an example of a file. So I would like to use this file I'm going to attach in a second to create an executive one-pager, explaining benefits and pros and cons of this file so that they can understand, because it's about AI models within Copilot. So I'm just going to click on upload a cloud file, and this is the file I'm going to use with the prompt. I want to use the file to create an executive one page explaining the benefits, pros and cons. Okay, so I'm going to run this prompt now, and what Copilot's going to do in the prompt code is it's going to run through what I've given it, and now it's giving me, based on the models explained, the strongest executive message. Copilot could be understood as a smart dispatcher that routes work to the right AI model. So this is us really getting into the nitty-gritty. So it's a simple message, and what it's doing is it's giving me some ideas as to what it might return for me.
It seems to have given you the entire document, has it? Oh, and then it says
It's
final prompt you can give to Copilot.
correct. Absolutely. So you can see if I show more lines, it's seeing here, it's giving me all these, if you like, create an executive summary, the models with the file, the goal, produce a clear, business-friendly one-page explanation. So it's giving me a context, it's giving me a source,
Right.
expectations and tone. So all of those, GCSE models that we talk about, framework for good prompting, it's done it for me. So it's also given me some ideas of what it might come back with.
Oh, that's it. Well, I was just going to say, Valerie, is it giving you a flavour of what it's going to come back with so you don't waste your time?
Absolutely, absolutely, because it's saying here, it's giving you ideas about recommended executive guidance and understanding which Copilot model to use. So it's giving us some ideas as to what might come from our prompt as in terms of our executive summary, but it's giving me the prompt underneath, and it's all I
Yeah.
need to do now is to copy that code, which is the prompt information,
And you can do that
and
just at the
click
top, can't
into,
you? Which you've just done, I think.
yeah, I've just copied it. And basically I'm just going to click in here into, and now also I'm going to share that file. Hey, okay, I'm going to attach that file
Oh, yeah. Have you
because
gone
I
over
haven't,
to, have you?
I'm
Oh,
actually stayed in the prompt coach at the moment. So I copied my code and now I've moved back to my new chat. And here I'm going to paste in that code. And of course I need to attach the file, because what I'm doing now is I'm using the prompt that the coach has given me, and I'm going to create my one-page report, which is what I wanted it to do. Now I've brought the file that I want to use as a basis for my one-page briefing, and the information here that I've got from my prompt coach. So my goal, my context, my source here, and all I'm going to do is I'm just going to
so much
prompt.
better. Have you run your prompt? Yeah.
It's
Oh, it's
lining things
lining
up now
things
for me.
up. That's a
Yes.
familiar phrase that now. So I'll just say while you're just doing this is really about more sophisticated use, isn't it, of Copilot and AI, a lot of demonstrations that I see, it's just about, oh, how to use AI basics, and they'd show you how to do a chat, let's say, or a request in Copilot like this, but without the prompt coach bit. And I think this is where we're getting the extra mile from it. This is how we get we get the better results doing this, Valerie. And this is what separates just your casual user from your more thoughtful user, I think, and using judgment. We pay a massive AI tax because we don't use it very well. So we end up spending lots of time putting it right again. So this is showing you how to avoid paying the tax
Oh,
on your AI usage.
it does. And here you're actually seeing the output coming in here with our explaining the models. So it's taken my file, which is just a couple of slides, and it's developing a one-page executive briefing. So it's taken existing information, the prompt coach built in it's a built-in part of the model to help you to prompt better, to improve. And what it's doing now is it's taking that information with that prompt and turning it into what I wanted, which was an executive briefing, really.
And I love the way it asks you first in prompt coach, is this what you're after, Valerie, really, is what it was saying,
Yeah.
wasn't it? This is the sort of thing you're going to get. And that was your opportunity to say, well, no, I probably didn't want it in those colors, or I didn't want it in that layout, or something of that nature, or maybe it's not deep enough, or it's too deep, or whatever. And then it would have adjusted the prompt, I guess.
It would, yes, it would. You could iterate.
Well, that's
So
great. Thanks, Valerie. So, as Valerie has showed us, it's just a case of first, open Copilot and find the agents. Second, open your prompt coach and tell it the job you're trying to do. Third, let it sharpen your prompt to get your intention right. And four, copy that prompt and run it in Copilot. And of course, you'll want to check the result in your own voice, that it's in your own voice and you're happy with it before you use it, of course. The lesson isn't the one pager, it's that a better prompt gives you a better answer every time. So it wasn't about the particular report or output that we got on this occasion. You can get whatever output you want from it. It's about making sure that your prompt is as good and tight as it can be. So one quick word on using this responsibly before we go. A one-pager or a report is only as good as the source behind it, and only as trustworthy as your own check of it. So never send something out you haven't properly read yourself, especially to a client or a decision maker. Let the AI draft it, you're still the author. Next week, we go a step further and Valerie puts AI to work as a researcher, showing you how Copilot can gather and make sense of information for you. So, if today was useful, subscribe to the Hub. It's free to use. And make sure that you turn notifications on so that next week's episode lands the moment it is live and you won't miss anything. So, from Valerie and I, goodbye, and we'll see you next week. Stay sovereign.